Hello, boys and girls. I hope you are all well. Please join me in singing our Two Little Stars song. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Two little stars hanging in the sky. One named Sparkle, one named Shine. Shoot away, Sparkle, shoot away, Shine. Shoot back, Sparkle, shoot back, Shine. Two little stars hanging in the sky. One named Sparkle, one named Shine. Thank you, well done. Will you join me in singing the bat song? Do you remember when bats sleep? Do they sleep in the daytime or in the nighttime? They sleep in the daytime, that's right, and they get up and they're active at night. Here's our tall bat, okay? And how do they sleep? They sleep hanging upside down. Okay, so let's sing our bat song. Bats are sleeping, upside down, sleeping in the morning sun, waiting for the night to come. Then they'll fly around, Let's sing it again. Bats are sleeping, upside down, sleeping in the morning sun, waiting for the night to come. Then they'll fly around, Well done, boys and girls. Boys and girls, let's look at our night picture again. It's all dark. The sky is all dark. And what can we see in the sky? Mr. Moon shining and lots of twinkly, shimmering, sparkling stars. How beautiful is the night sky. Now, boys and girls, the moon and the stars are very far away in space. Do you think you can go to space in a car? No, you can't go to space in a car. Can you go to space in a bus? No. Can you go to space in a ship? No. Can you go to space in an aeroplane? No. Space is very, very far away. You can go to space in a rocket. And astronauts, here's a picture of an astronaut. Astronauts learn a lot about space and they train to go into space in rockets. So you can go to space. If you're an astronaut, you go to space in rockets and space shuttles. You can't go to space in a car or a bus or an aeroplane or a ship because space is very, very far away from our world. And our world is called Earth. So space is very far away and astronauts go in rockets to space. Boys and girls, I've got a special book to read to you. It's called On the Moon by Anna Milborn and Benji Davies. Can you see the picture on the cover? What can you see? There's an astronaut and another astronaut. There's two astronauts. And there's the moon. And there's space all around the moon. And there's a space buggy. So we're going to read On the Moon. Wow, look at this night picture. Mr. Moon and all the stars twinkling. The moon is very far away. What do you think it would be like to go there? Here's a little girl looking at the moon outside in the sky. And she's wondering what it would be like to go to the moon. A few people have been to the moon. Astronauts went to the moon to see what it was like. Here's a little girl watching TV and she's learning about the astronauts going to the moon. And here she's pretending to be an astronaut. She's got a toy rocket in her hand, and her teddy's also been an astronaut. And there's her box for a space station. If you went to the moon, you'd be an astronaut too. To get to the moon, you have to go in a huge rocket. Here's a huge rocket getting ready to take off. And there's a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off or blast off. The astronauts sit in a tiny cabin at the very top. Can you see the astronauts? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3 astronauts. The rocket flies into space. There's nothing but stars and darkness all around. It takes 4 whole days to reach the moon. There's a rocket blasting off from Earth. The Earth is our world. It's a planet called Earth. And there's a rocket zooming from Earth, going off to the moon. And it takes 4 days for the rocket to reach the moon. Interesting, hey, boys and girls? When you get there, you climb into a little spaceship. So the astronauts are now in a little spaceship from the rocket. It flies down, 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 and lands gently on the moon. To go outside, you have to put on a space suit. The astronauts have to wear special space clothes, special space suit. And they have special gloves and special space boots because it's very different in space. So they can't wear the clothes that we normally wear every day. They've got special clothes made when astronauts go into space. There is no air on the moon. Spacesuits carry air so you can breathe. So they got a special tank with oxygen. We breathe oxygen. Special air is called oxygen. And the astronauts have got their suit with their tanks of oxygen when they go to space. The moon is silent, empty, and dusty. Silent is all quiet and empty. There's nothing on the moon. It's dusty. There's lots of sand and rocks. There are huge mountains and big holes. These are big holes are called craters. But there are no trees or water or animals or people. Can you see it's all empty? So there's no people or plants or animals on the moon. On the moon, you feel very light and floaty. When you walk around, you take big bouncing strides. So it's very different on the moon because there's no air and water. So they just float around. The astronauts just float around. You can jump really far on the moon, much further than you can at home on Earth. So it's very different. They're floating around. Astronauts sometimes go exploring in moon buggies. Here's a moon buggy. They collect moon rocks to bring back home. Yes, a packet collecting, astronauts collecting rocks to take it back home, and there's a little hammer digging, and they are exploring and they're studying things, and they have to look very carefully what they find on the moon. And there's another astronaut with his camera. They take photos to show people at home what the moon looks like. How interesting. Astronauts put a flag on the moon to show they have been there. Here's an astronaut putting a flag on the moon. You can see our world from the moon. The astronauts on the moon, and they can see our world. What's our world called? Planet Earth. That's right. It looks tiny because it is so far away. When it's time to go, the astronauts blast off for home. Now they say bye to the moon, and then they're going to go back to Earth. The moon is left almost as it was before. Well, apart from the flag and the moon buggy that they left behind, and some footprints where the astronauts have walked, footprints in the dust. Do you think you'll ever go to the moon? The little girl's wondering if she can go to the moon. The end. The beautiful night sky. Beautiful stars and the moon in space. The end. I hope you enjoyed looking at that book with me, boys and girls. It's very interesting to learn about the moon and about space. Now, will you join me in singing the Aiken Drum song? But you know, when rockets take off and blast off, there's a countdown. So we normally count forwards. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to count backwards. Okay, let's practice together and then we're going to do the blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go blast off. Okay, right, let's do it together. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And he played upon the ladle, the ladle, the ladle. And he played upon the ladle, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his hair was made of spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. And his hair was made of spaghetti, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his eyes were made of meatballs, meatballs, meatballs. And his eyes were made of meatballs, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his nose was made of cheese, cheese, cheese. And his nose was made of cheese, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his mouth was made of pizza, pizza, pizza. And his mouth was made of pizza, and his name was Aiken Drum. And he played upon the ladle, the ladle, the ladle. And he played upon the ladle, and his name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. Yum, yum, Aiken Drum. Right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoy the themes this week. Bye from me. Take care and have a great weekend. Keep safe. Bye, boys and girls.